Hey everyone. Greek mythology narrates Trojan War through many works of literature and mainly in Homer's Iliad. Prajapatis, called by Greeks as protagonists, are born to King Pracheta and his wife Suvarna, spread all over Asia, Europe, and started multiplying their races. One such was Angiras, which is distorted as Cronus in Greek, whose elder son was Brihaspati or Guru, known as Zeus in Greece. Today, let's know about the Trojan War, which was Brihaspati Chandra Tara's story, an epic love triangle. Let's start the video, but before that, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Puranas in India were preserved orally for many years and later composed between 6000 BC and 1800 BC. Homer composed Iliad around 8th century BC, which is at least 1000 years after the last Purana was edited in India. The Greek Orphic tradition maintained history without proper writings, so many names, places, incidents, relations must have been distorted over years. Until Christianity took over Europe, Jupiter was a chief deity of Roman state religion throughout the Republican and imperial eras, and Thursday was a holiday as a mark of respect for him. This Zeus is same as Brihaspati in Puranas, who was also called as Guru, and his weekday being Thursday, that is Guruvar. His followers, kings, commanders, etc. were Devas or Suras or Adityas, which is Aditi's sons in Puranas. Similarly, people in the Middle East from Turkey till Iran, following there was Daityas as they followed Shukracharya and had holiday on Friday, that is Shukravar. They were Daityas, which is Diti's sons or Asuras in Puranas. Their kingdom was Assyrian, which had capital as Assur is in modern-day Iraq. This name sounds similar to Asura. Even today, people in Middle East and their cult followers across the world use the Sukra or Sukriya to thank others or show gratitude and follow Friday holiday as a tradition. Shukra was born to Maharshi Bhrigu, who was a Prajapati. Puranas say that Bhrigu himself took rebirth as Shukra. Both Brihaspati and Shukra were disciples of Angiras. But as Angiras was showing partiality towards his son Brihaspati, the more talented Shukra parted ways. Shukra used to worship Shiva in the form of Makkeshwar. Makha or Magha in Sanskrit means fire or lava. So Makkeshwar Lingam must have been formed from lava or fallen upon earth as meteoroid. This Shukra is same as Ahura Mazda, who is a creator deity in Zoroastrianism. He is the first and most frequently invoked spirit in the Yasna. The literal meaning of the word Ahura is Lord, and that of Mazda is wisdom. The Avestan language word Yasna literally means oblation or worship. The word is linguistically and functionally related to Vedic Sanskrit yajna. Both Shukra and Ahura Mazda are represented as a man with sword in hand and on white horse both in Indian Puranas and Persian history. Zeus and the Olympians fought with the Titans in a 10-year war called the Titanomachy. This sounds similar to Tarakamya war described in Padma Purana. Troy today is Hisarlik in Turkey, and people living to its east side, that is towards the Asia, fought war with King of Sparta, which is in Greece. Mahabharata, Shiv Puran, Vishnu Puran, etc. mention that Brihaspati's wife Tara went to the house of Chandra, which is Soma, and stayed with him. This Chandra is not the celestial body that appears in the sky, but is a human. Maharshi Atri, one of the Prajapati, and his wife Anusuya had 3 kids with the qualities of Trimurtis: Vishnu as Dattatreya, Rudra as Durvasa, and Brahma as Chandra, which is Soma here. Chandra and Durvasa left Dattatreya at home and went away. Tara and Chandra fell in love with each other. He abducted and made her his queen. Brihaspati, after multiple failed peace missions and threats, declared war against Chandra. The Devas sided with their teacher, while Shukra, an enemy of Brihaspati and the teacher of Asuras, aided Chandra. After the intervention of Brahma, the war was stopped. Tara, pregnant, was returned to her husband. She later gave birth to a son named Buddha. But there was a controversy over the paternity of the child, with both Chandra and Brihaspati claiming themselves as his father. Brahma once again interfered and questioned Tara, who eventually confirmed Chandra as the father of Buddha. Similar story is written in Trojan War, which was waged against the city of Troy by the Achaeans, that is the Greeks, after Paris of Troy took Helen from her husband Menelaus, king of Sparta. Historians mistakenly try to find similarities between Trojan War and Ramayana and assume that Greeks copied abduction of Sita by Ravana's story and rewrote it. But in fact, Trojan War story is actually the story of Tara eloping with Chandra and Sura-Asura war. Greek mythology says Hermes, which is Buddha here, is son of Zeus, which is Guru, born through his wife Hera, Tara. They omitted the Chandra episode here as Zeus raised the child. They also mixed up Helen of Troy's story and assumed her as daughter of Zeus. Also, in Greek history, Zeus got mixed up with Indra, who had multiple sexual affairs. In fact, Zeus married his sister Hera. Helen of Troy's story matches perfectly with Brihaspati Tara Chandra episode in Puranas. Paris and Helen had a son named Agnes, which means gentle, according to British poet and novelist Robert Graves. Mercury is called Soumya in Vedic astrology, which also means gentle. The events of the Trojan War are found in many works of Greek literature and depicted in numerous works of Greek art. There is no single authoritative text which tells the entire events of the war. Instead, the story is assembled from a variety of sources, some of which report contradictory versions of the events. The most important literary sources are the two epic poems traditionally credited to Homer, the Iliad and the Odyssey, composed sometimes between the 9th and 6th century BC. Each poem narrates only a part of the war. If we relate those broken parts with Puranas, it can be concluded that the Thursday holiday army fought with Friday holiday army for a woman who chose lover over her husband. After Hermes grew up, came to know that his biological father was not Jupiter but Chandra, he left home and went away. Skanda Purana states that Buddha came to Varanasi and set up a Buddheshwara Linga and also did tapasya before Ila, daughter of Vaivashvata Manu. They got married and had a son named Pururava, who started a new dynasty called Chandravamsham in the name of his biological grandfather. Buddha and Ila had a son born on Mount Puru, so named him Pururava. Thus, Suryavamsham and Chandravamsham became first cousins. He established a kingdom with capital at Pratishthan, which is modern-day Prayagraj, and his sons were Ayu, Amavasu, Vishvayu, Shrutayu, Satayu, and Dridayu. Ayu's sons was Nahusha, who married Ashokasundari. Their sons were Yati, Yayati, Samyati, Ayati, Viyati, and Kriti. This Yayati married Divyayani, daughter of Shukracharya, and also Sharmishtha, daughter of Daitya king Vishyaparva. They had 6 sons: Yadu, Turvashu, Anu, Dhruyu, Prachinvata, Puru, and 1 daughter called Madhavi. Each of these sons started own branch of dynasties. Yadu started Yadava dynasty, in which Vasudev and Lord Krishna were born. The leftover Yadavas, after drowning of Dwarka, travelled towards Middle East and were called Yahudis. Turvasu went towards west and started Mleccha or Yavana dynasty. His kingdom was Turvaski, which later became Turski and finally is called today as Turkey. Turvaski included Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Ethiopia, Kenya, Sudan, Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Turkey, and Greece. Descendants of Turvasu, known as Turvasus, changed due to linguistic differences to Turvas, Tavras, Tambar, and Tomar. Due to political reasons, Tomars returned from West region to South through Central Asia and settled in areas around Delhi known as Indraprastha. Since they had come from West, they have been called Yavanas in Sabha Parva of Mahabharata. The Tomars spread from Delhi to other places in search of better lands and came up to Bhind in Madhya Pradesh. In the 7th century, under the influence of new Hindu religion, some of the Tomars got inducted into Agnikula Rajputs. Rest, who believed in old Vedic traditions, remained in Jats. Kuru II, who was descendant of Emperor Bharata, started Kuru Vamsham, and its descendants were Kauravas. The leftover Kurus after Kurukshetra war also travelled towards Middle East and became Qurayshis. Graha is not just a planet, but sometimes that absorbs or sends gravitational waves. Recent studies concluded that planets in solar system send gravitational waves. Well, that's it for today. I hope you're liking Nerdy's discoveries. Can't wait for the next video to learn more and be fascinated about. See you on the next. Bye.